Welcome back, everybody. It's Rama from Junk Journal Divas. Thanks for joining me today. I am continuing with my 12 days of Halloween, and I'm excited to get started here. So the first thing I'm doing here is just laying down some color with my distress crayons, and I'm going to be doing the ghosts. So that's what my scene is going to be. I love using the distress crayons. They're just so easy to lay down color. And in the book that I'm doing, I just wanted to have some fun, not think so much, and keep it simple. And yeah, just having fun here. So this technique I really like. It's fun to use a stencil then and a baby wipe, and I'm just rubbing over it. Now this did sit for a while, so the crayon wasn't lifting up so much. Usually it's a lot easier if you do it right away. Then I'm just adding some pink because I want to use these printables from Phoebe, one of my Diva sisters. This is also a freebie in Junk Journal Divas, so come over there and you can get it to use for your creations. And now I'm going to use some cardboard that is from when I was dyeing papers. I love to just put random bits of, cardboard, different textured things in when I'm doing my dyed papers and my eco prints. So I'm going to put this can be kind of like the ground. And then I'm going to cut out these adorable little ghosts that Phoebe did. Of course, I have to put a moon, and then we're going to have to add some bats. And then I'm just going to glue down my ghosts. So I'm going really fast through these pages because I just wanted to kind of show a little bit of the process, but a lot of this is me gluing and cutting. This took a long time. I've been a little bit obsessed with getting this book done. And I skipped the first 3, I think I did. I made a bunch of tags to send out for my Diva Delights, so I just was gonna do the other days I was going to do in this book, but then once I got started, I thought I've got to do all of the days. So that's what I did. So now I'm just putting a border around this, and I cut some circles out with my hole punch, and then I cut them in half and just kind of making a little border. And this just makes all the difference, having that color around the border. And now I'm going to do the same thing with my distress crayons. I'm using just for some background color. So I'm doing blue, and then I'm going to do silver, or like a silvery blue color on top of that, and then smudge them together. And this day is pumpkins. So I have some pumpkins, and I added some funny eyes and mouths and stuff. And I put them on top of the pumpkins digitally and then printed them out. So that's what I'm going to use here. And this is just some acrylic paint that I'm kind of splattering in the background here. I'm going to dry this really well before I move on to other layers. And now this is paper that I have in my texture packs in my shop, one of the many pieces, and it's kind of like a I don't even know, it's a crinkly tissue paper, but it's thick, it's nice and sturdy. As you can see, I'm just kind of crinkling it up and then unfolding it, but it takes to glue very well. So I'm going to put this down to be my grass, and then I can start cutting out my pumpkins. And now this paper does come in a couple of different colors that I have in my texture pack. And I just like it, well, anything with texture, but I love that it takes to glue really easily. So here is my background. And now you can see my silly looking pumpkins. I just love them. They're so cute. So I'm going to do one of my Tim Holtz moons, the die cut, and then put some bats on it, ink up my pumpkins, glue them down, and then we've got our pumpkin page. So these eyes and the glasses are some that I used in my paper doll kits, my digitals that are in my shop. And there's something about putting glasses on paper dolls. They just, I don't know, they're so silly and whimsical, and I love it. So this guy didn't have a mouth, so I have to draw a mouth on him. And then we'll glue these little guys down. And now I'm doing the same thing. I'm punching out some circles from some Halloween paper. And then I'll do the same thing, making a border around this page. And sometimes I just use a paint marker or something to go around and make a border. But because of all these different textures, the paint marker looks different on the blue part as opposed to trying to do it on that textured paper. So I just decided to do it this way and use my circle punch. And then I'll probably go and doodle on top of the circles. I don't know, I'm having fun doodling. It took me a long time to get into it. And I don't know, there was something about it that was a little intimidating at first, but now I love to do it. And then I grabbed some of the, the ribbon that looks like a vine. So I'm going to put a couple pieces of this on my pumpkins. And I just love the colors of this. It's so bright and vibrant. Then we'll just add a sentiment to this, and this one is finished. So now moving on to another page, and I have these bats from Art House Whimsy. So I'm going to cut these out. So this day is full moon and bats. So I have these elements, and then I can start with my background. And I really loved the blue, so I'm going to do another page with blue. Of course, that's my favorite color also. So we'll do the blue first and then layer another color on top. And if you were wondering, yes, my fingers get really messy, but it wipes right off. So although it's messy, it's easy to clean up. Now I'll glue down my moon, and this paper is really cool. It's like a textured, bumpy paper. And I think, if I'm correct, this paper came from the dollar store. They have those textured paper packs, and I have a friend, a Diva sister, who sent me a bunch of them because I can't find them at my local dollar store. And then I have this die cut that was left over, and I thought this would be great to add to this page. And then we can put our bats, and I'm just going to fold them in the middle. And then that way, they can kind of go on each side. So just make sure that it's pushed down into the middle part there. And then for paint markers, I do have a lot of different brands, and the one that I'm using right now is just an inexpensive one that I got from somewhere, and it's one of my favorites. It works really well, and I'm glad I got two of them. And it's just an acrylic paint marker. And then I'm going to go ahead and poke out some circles to do the same thing for my border here. And then the stuff that I'm using to make the little splatters in the background, it is a pigment dye from Seth Abner, and it comes in, it looks just like a nail polish bottle, if you can see it there. So these were also sent to me by a Diva sister, and I didn't play with them until doing this, and they're kind of fun. Of course, I love playing with different mediums. So now I want to put a sentiment on top of this paper that I have embossing glaze on. So glue does not stick to it very well. So I'm going to use some of my sticky, double-sided sticky tape. So that's what I was using there. And then I'm going to put some on the back of it to go on to my page. Because sometimes, well, it depends on what it is, but sometimes that crayon can be kind of, waxy and things don't stick to it quite as well as gluing paper to paper. And now moving right on to this one that is witches. And I go a little bit faster, skipping parts as I go because I don't want to show the same things over and over again. But just little pieces of what I did. But for this one, I wanted to create a scene to make it look like they were in the woods. So I'm putting down the green, and I'm only gluing it at the bottom so that I can kind of slide some of my focal points down behind the green. And then I have this other paper that it kind of looks like a tree, like a tree bark. So I made it, it's going to look like a tree stump, and my witch is going to sit on it in the background. And this stuff is also has a waxy coating on it. So again, I'm using my double-sided sticky tape. So we'll put this down in there. And then the tree stump is just a little bit tall, so I'm going to cut a little bit off of that. And then I can go ahead and glue down my witch and all the rest of my elements. And then I have these leaves that are kind of cool. They're fun to play with. And glue a couple of these down. And I have a lot of witches and different digitals that are from Art House Whimsy. So the one on the tree stump is one that is in my kit. That's in my Etsy shop. But I have a lot from Art House Whimsy, including this bat. All the rest of the digitals pretty much that I'm using, the majority are Art House Whimsy, of course. So this is one that's left over, so I'm going to put her on here too. And then I have a couple of other random pieces that I found. I have a spell book, so I'm going to put that in her hand. And dun, 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 of course, we've got to give her some glasses. Then just a sentiment, all the rest of the little details, the same as the other pages. Doing my outlining. And then I'm going to go right into the skeleton page. And that stuff that I used for my tree stump, I'm using that to go across the bottom. And again, I only attached it at the very bottom so I can kind of slide my focal points down behind there. So I've got my skeletons and moon. I wanted it to kind of look like they were coming up out of the ground. Add a spider and a few little extras here. And I am going to go and do another border around this one, but I'm just using some of these really fun paper scraps that I have. And now I'm moving on to doing black cats. Now I already did, like I said, I already did black cats. I did the haunted house and I did witches, but I wanted to do all of the 12 days of Halloween in this book once I got started. So again, I have these digitals that are leftovers and they're super cute. So I'm using these cats, adding a few extra little pieces here, and then I'll do my outlining. Okay guys, so today I want to finish up my altered book that I did here. I want to do something with the cover. I want to do something just pretty easy because I need to finish this stuff up. I want to finish this. I've got a few tag books that I need to decorate and finish up that I want to send out to family. And then I need to start on my Christmas packages, my holiday goodies, because they're going to be spectacular. You guys just wait. So what I'm thinking is I've got these embossed papers left, and I think I'm going to use them. I pulled this in because I don't have a lot of orange left. So I pulled this in, and what I'm thinking is doing some kind of like a patchwork thing on this, on the cover. Debating whether or not I need to cover this with gesso. I kind of like the spine, although it's upside down. And you guys, wait till you see this. I was going through doing all of my pages, and you'll see in my video, I get to the one day, and you know, after I'm smearing in my distressed crayons on the page, and then I started doing stuff, and I didn't realize till afterwards that the page was upside down. And oh my goodness, I just sat here and cracked up. So I cut these two panels that will fit onto my covers. And I am going to use some gesso, some black gesso first. I'll let that dry, and then I can sand it a little bit to kind of grunge up the edges. So I'm going to do this first and let it dry, and then I can start working on my little patchwork, my panels that are going to go on my cover. So there is no method to this really. I'm just kind of, once I figure out a couple of pieces that I definitely like in a position, I glue them down, and then I just kind of go from there. And if I need to cut some of them down to fit, then that's fine, I do that. So I'm just kind of playing around, looking at the colors and how I want this to lay out here. And I have two of these panels. I have one for the front and one for the back. And once I get these, all the little pieces glued on, then I'm just going to take this panel and glue it right onto the cover. And I'm going to use some Mod Podge to do that. So here are my two panels, and they're kind of bright. So I'm going to go in between all of those, and in between every single one with my Stabilo black watercolor pencil. And then when I glue this on with my Mod Podge and put Mod Podge on top of it, you'll see it kind of smears it together and it just grunges it up a little bit. But I am going to go over my book with a sanding block first, and then we can start gluing these panels on. Okay guys, I am finished with this little book. So this is what I have here. So I did the patchwork with my embossing glaze and texture paste things that I did, my papers. And this idea I got from Lori Marie Jenkins. I just love her. She's given me so much inspiration. I left the spine and just kind of rubbed it a little bit with I did some sanding on the black gesso. Oops, got some stuff sticking here. There we go. Okay, so let's take a look inside. So here I just put the days so that I can remember what I was doing. And then this is Wicked Witches. Their cauldron bubbles, secrets brew, a potion born of dusk's own hue. Then we've got free witches brew cocktails. And then we've got day 12, which is graveyard. Ghostly goals. And this one just cracks me up with the guy's glasses. You guys know I love putting glasses on. And then this still might be my favorite page. I just love all of the different layers here. This is spiders. This was a black and white image, and I just put purple embossing glaze on top of this. And then we have these adorable little ghosts. These were in Junk Journal Divas, and these were from Phoebe. So this is a free printout that is available in Junk Journal Divas. Then we've got pumpkins. Halloween is a magical night. Carving time down here. And these pumpkins, I put the glasses for my paper dolls I put on. So these were digital, and I just printed them out and put them on here on my page. Okay, here's my page that I did upside down. It still cracks me up. Things that go bump in the night. So this one is our bats, full moon and bats, upside down. And then this page is, these are also Phoebe's digitals. This was Halloween candy. It's all about the candy, going trick-or-treating. And then this page is skeletons. Got my skeleton here with the eyes. Rattle your bones. And the witching hour has arrived. And then haunted house, I did so many haunted houses because of my digitals, so I didn't spend all that much time on this. I just put one of my leftover houses here. Enter if you dare. And then this little girl is Art House Whimsy. Well, pretty much the digitals, if I don't say otherwise, are Art House Whimsy. And then the black cats, I also did tags, so I just put I put these in here because they were leftover digitals, and I'm trying to use all my goodies that I had already printed. Black cats gather here, and I love this little guy. And then this one is Witch's Brew. Thought this was a fun page. Deep forest is the witch's property. So I made them in the woods, and this kind of looks like her sitting on a tree trunk. They've got their cauldron going and a little spell book. And then here I just put this cat, I made it into a pocket and put this little tag in here for now. And then that is the back. So I am excited. I got my little altered book finished here. Now I want to finish, like I said, some of my houses to send out to family, and then I need to spend some time cleaning up my room because it's a disaster. So thank you guys for joining me. I hope I inspired you to have some messy fun, and I'll see you next time for some more crafty adventures. If you like this video, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up. I would appreciate it. And don't forget to hit subscribe and the notification bell so you can see when I have new content come out. Thanks again for watching.